The true north, strong and free, from far and wide all Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Winnipeg Jets player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Nicole Chapelez of St. Francis Xavier, Manitoba, could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on TSN. Winnipeg Jets and Edmonton Oilers in goal tonight for the Winnipeg Jets. 5th straight start for Connor Hellebuyck. Paul Maurice talking about him today, about all the good things that Connor Hellebuyck does, and then he just kind of wrapped it up by saying he's a talented goaltender. And Cam Talbot, Hellebuyck, Paul Maurice talking about him today, about all the good things that Connor Hellebuyck does, and then just kind of wrapped it up by saying he's a talented goaltender. And Cam Talbot will get the start. This is only his 3rd start in the last 12 games for the Oilers.
A lot of them new on the Oilers and the Calgary Flames.
Referees are Garrett Rank and Steve Kazari.
In the lines that are Johnny Henderson and Kyle Raymond, Darren Gibbs, and Mark are the linesmen. And we're ready for hockey for the first time in Rogers Place. Connor McDavid's on the ice with his new line mates.
Rank and Steve send this into the Oilers zone. It got blocked at center.
NHL December 21/2015 Winnipeg.
Trying to work his way in, leaves for Wheeler. Wheeler, a backhand shot through some traffic. Tyler Myers jumps in, down for Wheeler, in for Ladd. The Jets to the attack early. And now the Oilers will control, and a long lead pass misses everyone. And this is going to go for an icing call. That'll bring us to our keys to the game, brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL.
Well, for the Winnipeg Jets, they have to get that confidence on the road, and the only way you can do is you go out, you work, you stick to your system, get the confidence. A lot of road games coming up for them. Another one tomorrow night. And for the Oilers, they just want to keep it rolling here at home. They've been playing so good. 6 straight wins on home ice for Edmonton.
3 of those 6 were in extra time, but they were wins. Perreault, Stafford, as a battle gets going in the corner in the Oilers' zone. Mark Fane recalled from Bakersfield with an injury of Brandon Davidson, and this goes off the stick and out of play.
Yeah, Mark Fane, free agent signing, big free agent signing in 2014 for the Oilers. And basically his words today after being sent down humbly, a little bit of a wake-up call were 2 of the adjectives he described. Excited to be back up here and try and stick.
Gideon Keaton is back up after a stint in Bakersfield. Snapped in by Dustin Byfuglien. Justin Schultz for Darnell Nurse. Plays it for Benoit Pouliot blocked there by Scheifele. Nurse will try it again. Cuts in front of Cam Talbot. Sends it up to the Jets line where Jacob Trouba, that quick lead pass looking for Stafford. Stafford had some room trying to find to get it to Stafford over. Byfuglien tried to get it for Stafford. Kept in Eberle. Justin Schultz takes a hit there from Dustin Byfuglien. And Trouba will pitch the puck off the far side boards. And Darnell Nurse as both teams start a line change. Nurse, the lead pass for Matt Hendricks. In for Leicester with some room on that right side. And the slap shot blocked by Connor Hellebuyck. Hendricks back at the line. And the Hendricks in for Leicester with some room on that right side. And the slap shot blocked by Connor Hellebuyck. Hendricks back at the line. And the shot from that right point into the catching glove of Connor Hellebuyck.
Well, Connor Hellebuyck Shot from the outside, couple early saves as he's the first goalie tested in this game. Stopped 26 of 28 against the Rangers in his last start. Of course, this being his fifth straight start in net for the Winnipeg Jets.
Jets win.
He's the first goalie tested in this game. Stopped 26 of 28 against the Rangers in his last start. Of course, this being his fifth straight start in net for the Winnipeg Jets.
Jets win the draw and Ben Sherratt for Nikolai Ehlers in on Greiva. Ehlers slips it through, looking for Thorwald, and a penalty coming, and a good sell job. Goes to point one. Do break easily sometimes, but the evidence was there, as you said. Wasn't much Mark Letestu could do with the puck. Schultz being watched by Burmistrov. Edmonton, one power play goal in the last 4 games. Taylor Hall trying to gain control. It gets away from him, but the Oilers control. First power play of the game for either team. Draisaitl in the high slot. The shot from the line. Traffic in front. Draisaitl's on the loose puck. Burmistrov keeping an eye on him. Draisaitl's shot got blocked. Mark Stewart got in front of it. Banks it off the boards, and Burmistrov slows it down at center. Blake Wheeler comes off the bench. Takes that pass. He has Myers in front. Oh, what a save by Cam Talbot. Tyler Myers. Stafford again. Rebound. And Talbot down with a right pad save.
Wow, Talbot just saved a short-handed goal that Myers should have had. What a left pad save.
Controlled by the Oilers, and now Stafford grabs it, and here comes Wheeler. On that offside, in against Sekera, leaves for Byfuglien, and Byfuglien had it poked away from him, gets it back, and puts it in behind the Edmonton net.
Well, good play by Byfuglien there after the loss. That strong stick took it away from Pouliot.
Jets with 5 short-handed goals on the season. Couple of great chances there to make it 6. Sekera for Eberle. Eberle cross ice, and an open side there, and Connor Hellebuck got across and may have got a piece of it, and now Sekera can't hold it in. Sekera chased back, and Letestu to the bench for the Oilers, still shaking his head over the opportunity that he had. One shot on that power play for Edmonton. Thorwald running into his man on the near side boards. That was Pakarinen. Pakarinen after the loose puck. And squirts free, and Thorwald is on it. Thorwald for Scheifele. Scheifele trying to find some room around Mark Fane. Perreault there as well. Stafford, Perreault. Perreault got knocked down by Pakarinen. Stafford on the loose puck. Perreault back for Stafford. Spins it down low, looking for Mark Scheifele. 7 goals in the last 13 games for Mark Scheifele. Stafford has the loose puck. Stafford, Scheifele curls to the front of the net, and Stafford put it there and off the end of Scheifele's stick. Scheifele curls up top, and Talbot felt it hit him. Wasn't sure where it went, but he hangs on to it.
Oh, great shift here by Scheifele's line, just moving the puck off the cycle. Stafford, Perreault, but earlier shorthanded. Good play by Burmistrov. Buys time. Wheeler comes for a support, little bank play. Myers goes to the net. Perfect pass, and what a save. Cam Talbot on Tyler Myers. Huge left pad save on shorthanded chance for the Jets.
Talbot came over from the New York Rangers. Sherratt trying to hold the line there against Letestu. Stewart in NHL game number 600 for Sherratt. He'll lift the backhander out at center. Nikita Nikitin is on it for Edmonton. Through for Korpikoski. Cross ice for Matt Hendricks. And that goes off of Mark Stewart. Letestu in behind the net. Matt Hendricks trying to chase this loose puck down. Gets it for Korpikoski, back for Hendricks. And good play there by Mark Stewart to get inside position. And then Andrew Kopp picks up the loose puck and chips it off the boards and back into the Edmonton zone. Teddy Purcell ahead for Taylor Hall. Hall goes rink wide. Intercepted by Trouba. Trouba in on Greiba. Drops for Wheeler. Takes it around the Edmonton net. Wheeler for Buffalo. For Andrew Ladd. Ladd in about a little there to help out. Each of those three forwards for the Jets a +4 in the game against the Rangers. Ladd into the slot to Wheeler, and that's off of Taylor Hall and wide. And Cam Talbot is going to jump on it and hold it for the Phillies. Give those. Ladd into the slot to Wheeler, and that's off of Taylor Hall and wide. And Cam Talbot is going to jump on it and hold it for the faceoff. So the Jets with some great chances. Myers shorthanded. That goes off of Talbot. That was a short. Some great chances. Myers shorthanded. That goes off of Talbot. Jets on TSN, brought to you by the bold new 2016 Toyota Camry. One bold choice leads to another.
Well, there's a look at Cam Talbot, Dan, as you mentioned, coming over from the New York Rangers. They trade the Oilers. Peter Chiarelli brought him in to be the #1 goalie, and it's been a tough year for Talbot, but he comes up with a huge save on Tyler Myers, maybe a bit of a confidence builder. It's been Anders Nilsson who's got the majority of the starts as of late when the Oilers have been hot, but Talbot comes up with a big save. He's allowed 4 goals in 5 of his last 6 starts.
New keyboard.
Darnell
0% vertically scroll.
Well, there's a look at Cam Talbot, Dan, as you mentioned, coming over from the New York Rangers. They trade the Oilers. Peter Chiarelli brought him in to be the #1 goalie, and it's been a tough year for Talbot, but he comes up with a huge save on Tyler Myers. Mentioned coming over from the New York Rangers. They trade the Oilers. Peter Chiarelli brought him in to Talbot, Dan, as you mentioned, coming over from the New York Rangers. They trade the Oilers. Peter Chiarelli brought him in to be the #1 goalie, and it's been a tough year for Talbot, but he comes up with a huge save on Tyler Myers, maybe a bit of a confidence builder. Anders Nilsson who's got the majority of the starts.
7 minutes, 49 seconds.
His been hot, but Talbot comes up with a big save. He's allowed 4 goals.
Reverse pass and to
0% vertically
for the first penalty and an early opportunity for the Oilers to get this puck
who's got the
back on their feet.
Tyler Myers, maybe
Brought to you by BioSteel Sports Nutrition, the natural choice for everyday performance.
Peter Chiarelli brought him in to be the #1 goalie, and it's been a tough year. Oilers have been hot.
Tyler Myers pinches. Taylor Hall
0%
there with
vertically
Toby
scroll.
Enstrom. Enstrom pulls away from Hall. Enstrom leads the Jets in +- at +14. Andrew Ladd, the wrist shot, and that goes off of Sekera and out of play.
Well, move your feet off the breakout. Great job by Enstrom. Taylor Hall's in pursuit, but Enstrom was just able to carry that puck all the way behind his net. Then a good little play with Wheeler. Brian Little makes a nifty little play, a little behind the back pass over to Andrew Ladd in the neutral zone. So getting a little creative, his puck a little bit behind him, but no problem for Brian Little.
Little coming up, the 3-point game. He's had a couple. Enstrom pulls away from Hall. Enstrom leads the Jets in +- at +14. Andrew Ladd, the wrist shot, and that goes off of Sekera.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
And back the other way come the Oilers. Pivot shoots. He's there. He scores. The puck bounces to the net. Oilers. Another turnover. Tyler Payne takes advantage.
Move your feet off the breakout. Great job by Enstrom. Taylor Hall's in pursuit, but Enstrom was just able to carry that puck all the way behind his net. And a good
allows his man to go through.
Brian Little makes a
0% vertically scroll.
Quick transition game, and sometimes simpler is better. This is a simple play where you're looking for pass all the way, and instead of making the pass, the quick release gets under the arm of Elliott. For Elliott, a disappointing start. This one goes right underneath the elbow,
a little bit
to the
behind,
outside,
no
and it
problem
found
for
room
Brian Little.
underneath the elbow.
Tyler Payne did a 5-game
pro, and just about every time he gets close to being a regular,
A little bit behind him. Brian Little makes it. Getting a little creative with his puck a little bit behind him, but no problem.
At center for Nikolai Ehlers and through for Chris Thorburn, and Thorburn jumping the line. Offside called against the Jets.
Well, the Jets 2 road games here before the Christmas break comes, looking to get back on track, similar to what they did earlier in the year where the road was a lot kinder to them. A great start on the road, and of course the last 9 games has not been good for the Winnipeg Jets. Just 1 win in that time. Special teams have playing a big factor in that as Paul Maurice's team trying to get that confidence away from Winnipeg.
The road win is in Minnesota against the Wild. Connor Hellebuck's NHL debut. Hellebuck plays it around. Benoit Pouliot throws it to the front of the net. Hellebuck steered it away. Kane slaps it back down low. Pouliot for Jordan Eberle, tied up there by Burmistrov. And that allows the Jets to come up with the loose puck. Trouba for Ehlers, on for Burmistrov, and
part-time's NHL left foot.
Shifley battling there with Greiba, the former Ottawa Senator. And this will 20 career to look only coming up to the Edmonton.
Whether we will see him tomorrow in Calgary or not.
Penalty coming up to the Edmonton Oilers as Matthew Perreault got dumped, and Nikita will make his way to the penalty box.
Well, Nikita, I don't know if we can even argue this one as he just gets the stick right behind the legs of Perreault as he goes down for a tunnel. We used to see Perreault go down a lot the way he competes on the legs of Perreault as he goes down for a tunnel. We used to see Perreault go down a lot the way he competes on pucks. And the Jets power play gets a chance to go for work. They're 0 for 10 over the last 3 games. But they have moved the puck a little bit better, something we've seen in a lot of the practices. Paul Maurice, the coaching staff, working on special teams.
Look at Todd McClellan there, the Oiler penalty killing at 80.4%. Buckland trying to hold the line, does. Brian Little down for Wheeler. Ladd's in front, and the pass skipped over a stick. Buckland from Perreault down for Ladd. Trying with Little, and Talbot comes across and makes a good
0%
save.
vertically scroll.
Well, after a scramble off the draw, Buckland sitting on the ice making plays. Jets with some quick puck movement opening up that middle seam.
Buckland on the power play. Snaps this in. Hits the back of the net. It's up on the mesh. And the Oilers are going to try and get a... Buckland on the power play. Snaps this in. Hits the back of the net. It's up on the mesh. And the Oilers are going to try and get a face-off out of it because they were bringing the face-off outside the line. And that's exactly what happened.
Dustin Buckland.
The face-off outside. And the Oilers are going to try and get a face-off out of it because it'll bring the face-off outside the line, and that's exactly what happens.
Well, Dustin Buckland, him and Perreault get mixed up. Buckland gets tripped up and keeps the play alive as the Jets eventually able to work that and then put pass in play. Ladd, good support by Perreault to Buckland to Ladd across, and a good shot by Brian Little, but Talbot able to move to the right with the right pad save.
The day last week, Shane, where they worked on special teams, that was one of the things that they wanted to do, was get the puck off the stick and onto the net a lot quicker. Trouba lays it back to Tyler Myers. Back for Trouba. Through for Ehlers and on for Myers. Has Stafford with him, and the pass just in behind Stafford as the 2 former Sabres couldn't connect cleanly. Trouba. Ehlers, Shifley, and that shot was blocked by Sekera and snapped off the boards, and the Jets will have to go back and regroup. Trouba on for Nikolai Ehlers. His pass intended for Stafford, picked off, and back down the ice where Hellebuck will stop it for Myers. A goal
Edmonton
and 4
Oilers
points
goal
in the
horn
last
history
2 games
YouTube
for
tab
Tyler
item.
Myers.
Complimentary YouTube video play.
Had a terrific
0% vertically
opportunity
scroll.
to open the scoring in this game, only to be robbed by Talbot. Wheeler winds his way in. Ladd back for Enstrom. Cross ice for Myers. No room to pass it back. Gets the checking of Letestu. Wheeler back for Ladd. Little jumped on it, but it comes loose, and Letestu will send it ahead for Matt Hendricks. And Matt Hendricks will chip this in. 1 shot on that power play for the Winnipeg Jets. So each team 0 for 1 with the man advantage, and each team with one shot on the power play. Nurse. Jets are changing. Ahead for Draisaitl, on for Teddy Purcell. Purcell dropped it. They tried to get it to Taylor Hall. That didn't work. Brian Little pass didn't work, and a shot stopped as it came to the front of the net after Teddy. Dressed Adam Party, Anthony Peluso, Paul Postma, and of course Andre Pavlik. Here's a quick shot. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins looking for the short side. Connor Hellebuck to save. Hopkins after it, cleared away, and Ehlers is after it. Can't clear though. Eberle plays it for Greiba. Benoit Pouliot couldn't get to it. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will. Plays it for Jordan Eberle. 5 goals in the last 8 games for Eberle. Plays it for Jordan Eberle. 5 goals in the last 8 games for Eberle. As he missed the beginning of the season because of injury. Pouliot tied up by Burmistrov. Works it free. Stopped by Trouba. Eberle is on the loose puck. Trouba gives him a bump. And Dustin Byfuglien takes over. Byfuglien getting pressured. Just lifts this back into the Edmonton zone. Race for it. They wave off the icing as Ehlers now gets taken into the quarter boards hard by Greiba. And Ehlers a little slow to get up. And he'll make his way to the Jets bench.
Big size mismatch there. Greiba 6'4", almost 230 pounds against the 6 foot, 172 Ehlers.
Chipped out by Matt Halischuk. Halischuk saw 9 minutes and 46 seconds of ice time against the Rangers. Had 3 shots on goal. Back in for the Oilers. Darnell Nurse for the front score! Chipped out by Matt.
Big size mismatch there. Greiba 6'4", almost 230 pounds against the 6 foot, 172 Ehlers.
Chipped out by Matt Halischuk. Halischuk saw 9 minutes and 46 seconds of ice time against the Rangers. Had 3 shots on goal. Back in for the Oilers. Darnell Nurse. Halischuk saw 9 minutes and 46 Jets reactions on Hellebuck. Taylor Hunter goal 18 times. As the game's opening goal, 1-0 Edmonton. Jets pass holders, watch for the Jets Rewards bonus code during tonight's game. Enter the code by logging into Jets Rewards and receive 50 bonus points redeemable for unique Winnipeg Jets benefits and experiences. Jets Rewards, reward your passion.
Well, look at Mark Stewart, and the Edmonton Oilers get on the board as this puck goes off Mark Stewart's stick as he gets it in the lane, and it comes back, changes directions on Hellebuck, goes under that right arm. So a little bit of luck as Teddy Purcell has the Edmonton Oilers up 1-0 in this hockey game. I mentioned Taylor Hall got an assist on that play. That's his 300th NHL point.
Jacob Trouba sends this in. Mark Scheifele off the sideboard. Scheifele watched by Justin Schultz. Has Perron. He looked cross ice. Stafford couldn't reach that cross ice pass, where he certainly had some room on this near side. Eberle puts on the brakes against Byfuglien. Back to Darnell Nurse. That shot blocked in front. Perron is on it, twisting and turning, trying to get away from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Paul Maurice talked today about the 5 minutes after a game's opening goal and how teams respond. Here comes Scheifele. In on Schultz. Scheifele trying to drive it to the net. Schultz forces him wide. Jets in a change. Wheeler on the loose puck. Enstrom is in from the line. Enstrom drops for Ladd. Spins it around, and Tyler Myers can't get to the near side boards quick enough. And has to vacate the zone. Enstrom for Little. Little across, puts it to the front of the net. Talbot steers it away. Matt Hendricks for Eric Greiba. Greiba through. Wrist shot from the near side from Draisaitl. Steered away by Hellebuck. Little at center for Wheeler. Wheeler will take it in. Wheeler drives the net off the stick and over top the far corner. And the Oilers with Taylor Hall right back up the ice for Draisaitl. The Purcell scores! Drives the net off the Draisaitl, steered away by Hellebuck. Little At center for Wheeler. Wheeler will take it in. Wheeler drop. At center for Wheeler. Wheeler will take it in. Wheeler drives the net off the icing.
Steady play by Taylor Hall. He does that.
Certainly.
Shot past Hellebuck.
Herschel, the right-handed shot coming down the left side, certainly had the angle. The puck got to him a split second quicker. And he finds the back of the net. Vermeestrov being chased there by Anton Lander. Turned over and the shot, and Connor Hellebuck will make the save. Lead pass, Joel Armia had it get off his stick. Darnell Nurse plays it around. Everly trying to chop it out. Jacob Trouba holds the line. Pulling out quickly on him was Bufflin. And Darnell Nurse will take it back into his own zone. Nugent Hopkins falling is Trouba. And a cross ice pass off the skate of Bufflin. And into the corner it goes. As Jacob Trouba lost his footing and went down. Andrew Kopp trying to work it free. Hallister trying to stick with his man. That's Eberle. And grabbed off and taken by Armia. And Joel Armia will send it in. Just under 11 minutes of ice time in his Jets debut for Joel Armia. As we look at Justin Schultz, he has led Oiler defensemen in scoring back-to-back years. Matt Hendricks deflects this in, goes in after Tyler Myers. Scheifele leaves it for Enstrom. Enstrom got double teamed and ends up back on Scheifele's stick. Ahead for Perreault. Back for Scheifele, and Nikitin takes Scheifele down well after the puck had gone. And no call on that play. And by the now play is whistled down as we have a linesman that is injured and is down by the Oiler bench.
Well, this looked like a textbook interference.
Devin Berg is the linesman that is getting some attention. 2-0 Oilers.
Well, we
Getting some attention. 2-0 Oilers.
Well, we might be down to a 3-referee system. As Nikitin took out 2 men. First, Scheifele dumps it in. This is the hip check, a little late, and it's Scheifele's back skate that comes up and clips the linesman. So Mark Scheifele, the look on his face, looking for the call, but Nikitin escapes without a penalty, and the linesman is gone, so they'll switch things around and go a little bit old school here with 3 officials.
Sometimes simple
Compliment.
force a pass through. McDavid with a shot. He lost the puck. Head-to-head.
This scoreboard, Jim, is one that I think people are just find themselves almost staring up at that more than even the game.
Berg, whether or not he returned.
The Oilers.
Mark played 4 back on the
0%
just his
by Eberle ahead for Hall. Being watched by Enstrom. Cleared away by Hellebuck. And grabbed off by Blake Wheeler. On for Andrew Ladd. Drops it for Wheeler. Finds some room around Draisaitl. A shot goes off the skate. Little jumps on the loose puck. Back for Wheeler. Wheeler leads the Jets in scoring with 33 points. And the Oilers will control with Leon Draisaitl. The 20-year-old will send it back to Darnell Nurse. And the Nurse will control another 20-year-old for the Edmonton Oilers. Eberle takes it wide on Trouba. Eberle pulls up for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Watched by Scheifele, who were former World Junior teammates. Bounces around in the Jet zone and grabbed off by Bufflin. Trying to get a 3-on-2 going. Finds Perreault. Perreault puts it to the front of the net. And Cam Talbot. Today there's Ehlers earlier. Corbin for Nikolai Ehlers. For Vermeestrov. Creates a little bit of room. Nikitin trying to stay with Vermeestrov. Takes it back for Sherratt. Sherratt rebound! and chipped wide from in front of the net by Ehlers. As Sherratt got that shot through from the line, and Talbot with a good right pad save. Sherratt on the one-timer didn't get enough of it. It went off the heel of his stick. Burmistrov in a battle there with Nikita Nikitin. Trying to drop it back for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers is up with the loose puck. Ehlers made some room for himself, then lost it, jams it back to Stewart. Down low for Ladd, but it got away from him. And that allows Nikita Nikitin to get it up to the blue line and out by Matt Hendricks. Mark Stewart back in and offside called again.
Nikitin pushed wide.
Nurse. Darnell Nurse for Taylor Hall and back for Nurse. Sekera. And the long pass misses everyone. And Hall.
Which he has been.
Myers against Taylor Hall. And Hall will chip it off the boards. Brian Little will backtrack for Toby Enstrom. Enstrom deep into the Edmonton zone. Taken off the corner boards by Nurse for Sekera. Ladd is closing in on Sekera. Kept in at the line by Stafford. Ladd spinning, and they're going to safely skate after he got hit by Nikitin that made contact with Berg. In for Schultz, center, tipped away. Buckland is on it, jams it ahead for Drew Stafford. Matt Hendricks, or rather Ryan Nugent-Hopkins after Stafford. Puck is still loose along the boards. Perreault back for Stafford. Down low it goes to Scheifele, back to Perreault, back to Scheifele. Scheifele looking for Trouba, who starts to make his way to the net. Off the backboards, and another save by Cam Talbot. As Jacob Trouba had the opportunity down low. Trouba in from the line. Gets to the puck ahead of Pouliot. Stafford floats it to the back door. And Scheifele with the chance, and Cam Talbot with
The net ball, but top
by the pack. And one of those career hat tricks came against the Winnipeg Jets.
See Slider
when he was still with Tampa. Burmistrov.
0% vertically scroll.
Got bumped there by Greiba. Parker Reinen plays it up the boards. Ehlers trying to jam it away from Gazdic. Does. Burmistrov the shot. Handcuffed Talbot for
the turnover. And then they
Bledsoe, Ladd. Battle in the corner. Ladd comes up with it. Tried to slide it back for Enstrom. Taylor Hall out to center. Teddy Purcell couldn't pick that up cleanly. And Wheeler right back in with Little. Little shot the rebound. And another save. Talbot may have got enough of that to get it over top the net. Boy, the Jets have had some chances here. Taylor Hall lost it at center. Darnell Nurse gets the puck, shovels it in. And Myers behind his own goal for Enstrom. Back for Myers. Winds his way into the Edmonton zone. In against Mark Fane. Centers to the short side. Talbot knocked it away. Stafford whipped it through the crease. Myers at the right point. Couldn't get much on the shot. And Letestu will send it ahead at center for Bukowski. Runs up. Stafford whipped it through the crease. Myers at the right point. Couldn't get much on the shot. And Letestu.
And the period comes to an end.
Well, the Oilers able to jump out to the 2-goal lead. The Jets had their offensive opportunities. Talbot was really good. They're going to get the chances to score. They just have to tighten up defensively.
So Teddy Purcell is the scoring hero of that opening period. He got 2 a minute 44 apart. And that is the difference in this hockey game, as the Edmonton Oilers have a 2-0 lead on the Winnipeg Jets. There's Purcell's first goal, and there's the second one, a well-designed 3-on-2. Edmonton Oilers with a 2-0 lead on the Winnipeg Jets as we get set to start period number 2. There's your goal scorer, Teddy Purcell, with a couple. Leon Draisaitl with him, as Draisaitl won 8 of 9 faceoffs that he took, picked up a couple of assists. So a pretty good period for that line of Hall, Draisaitl, and Purcell. There's your shots, 12-11 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets. Picked up a couple of assists. Shots 12-11 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets.
To have a loss
in 5 Warriors last game in Colorado. They lost that one 5-1. They started that road trip, Edmonton did, with a win in Boston. At center, Wheeler trying to jam this into the Edmonton zone. Sekera stops it for Taylor Hall. In for Draisaitl, back for Hall, knocked away from him by Tyler Myers. Wheeler will send this in, and Cam Talbot plays it around, but Brian Little is there to break it up. Ladd ties his man up. Wheeler with the quick shot. That goes off the stick of Darnell Nurse. Sekera up for Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall circling. Sends it back for Sekera. Snapped up the middle. Darnell Nurse. This gets deflected in on Connor Hellebuck. And back for Matthew Perreault. His pass around the boards. Eberle breaks it up for Benoit Pouliot. At the line, a shot knocked down by Hellebuck. That gave him some trouble. A bit of a knuckler from Justin Schultz. Off a skate for Scheifele. He'll deflect it in. And cleared back out and down the ice. This will be an icing call against Edmonton.
Well, it's a big period for the Winnipeg Jets. Down a couple, still a lot of hockey left for this second period. I'm sure Paul Maurice addressing a few of those issues in the room between periods. Probably wants to talk. The odd man rush we saw with that top line, the Draisaitl line was able to do. I'm sure a little more awareness to their speed here in the second and third.
Hellebuck will lead this for Dustin Byfuglien. Nikolai Ehlers had a great scoring chance in that opening period. Ehlers in on Schultz. Puts on the brakes. Try to get it down for Thorburn. Korpikoski breaks it up. Sends it ahead for Benoit Pouliot. Plays it for Mark Fane, and Fane will send it in. Byfuglien quickly for Jacob Trouba. Up for Thorburn. Looking for Ehlers at center. Nice play by Ehlers. Has Burmistrov with him. Ehlers leaves for Byfuglien, and the slap shot kicked away by Talbot. Nikitin up the middle. Armia almost broke that up. Matt Hendricks with Hallostruk after him. Back for Greiba. Around for Nikitin. Deflected in. Waiting for it is Armia. Chased back by Pakarainen. And deflected where it's grabbed off by Mark Stewart. Anton Lander is in on him. Pakarainen back to the line. Slap shot from the line. That went wide. And grabbed off by Ben Sherratt. Sherratt slips it up the boards. Got bumped there by Pakarainen. And Mark Stewart will take it behind his own net. The long lead pass. And they're going to say that Hallostruk did not touch it. And icing is called.
Oh, Nikolai Ehlers did some creative plays. Burmistrov made a pass off the boards for himself in the first period. And Ehlers, a nice little chip play here. Chips it over the stick of the defenseman and then spinorama to himself, but couldn't get the pass to Burmistrov, who would have been all alone. He finds Byfuglien for the point shot. All that creativity from the 19-year-old.
Taylor Hall's quick shot wide. Sekera for Draisaitl. Andrew Kopp all over him. Around for Purcell. Back for Draisaitl. Kopp staying with him. Purcell. And now he gets a bump from Mark Stewart. So the Oilers trying to get the cycle game going. Taylor Hall. Off the sideboard. Sherratt stays with him. Sekera against Armia. And that shot goes off a body.
This is just at the face off. Hellebuck comes up with a smooth save.
Myers jams that away. Sekera from the line. Blocked in front. Little goes after it. Clears it behind the net. A centering pass stopped by Myers. And jammed away by Connor Hellebuck. Myers a +4 in the Ranger game. And here comes Myers on the attack. Has Little off that backside. Myers finds Enstrom at the line. Enstrom takes the slap shot. Finds Ladd, being watched by Sekera. Andrew Ladd and Sekera knocked up the boards. Enstrom trying to hold the line, can't. And it's cleared at center where Little will get it to Wheeler. And back for Brian Little and back to Blake Wheeler. Attacks the zone against Sekera. They collide at the line, and Draisaitl ahead for Teddy Purcell. Wheeler looks a little shaken up on the play. Wheeler plays it through for Matthew Perreault. Perreault has a little bit of room, puts it to the short side. Scheifele got tied up in front with Schultz, and they went down. Back for Fane, snaps this in. Draisaitl waits for it. Byfuglien gets there first. Nice little back pass by Byfuglien for Scheifele. On for Drew Stafford, pulls up inside the line. Stafford looking for Scheifele. Perreault has it, gets it to the front of the net. Stafford now the quick shot that got blocked. Taylor Hall is on the loose puck. And Taylor Hall will chip this in, and line changes now for the Oilers. 2-0 Edmonton. Thorburn trying to jam his way to the front of the net. Stopped there by Greiba. Pass up the middle, intercepted by Burmistrov. Sends it back deep into the Oilers zone. Ehlers with Greiba after him. Ehlers tried to find Burmistrov. Stewart's going to try and hold the line and does. And then Greiba will just pitch it out of harm's way and get it back into the Jet zone. Sherratt gets to center, snaps it around the boards, and all the way back into the Jet zone it goes. Sherratt has his stick snapping too. Stewart gets some help from Burmistrov. Down to Sherratt, who's playing with Thorburns' right-handed stick. So he takes advantage of the curve and puts a backhand pass off the glass and out.
Oh, a good heads-up play by Sherratt. Gets Thorburns' stick, yeah. And uses the backhand a little easier to get the loft on the puck.
Trouba plays it ahead for Byfuglien. Now for Kopp. Anton Lander in on him. Sekera at the line. Trouba plays it around the boards. Ehlers goes after it. Darnell Nurse is in from the line. Nice play up for Kopp. Kopp on for Joel Armia. Sends it in and goes in after it as Ehlers hustles to the bench. Wheeler comes out. Taken by Armia. In for Wheeler. Wheeler twisting and turning. Looking for a little bit of room. Stopped by Sekera. And Darnell Nurse hustles after the loose puck and plays it ahead. Anton Lander couldn't catch up to it. And Jacob Trouba sends Brian Little away with Wheeler and Ladd. Wheeler tees it up, and that shot is blocked. Wheeler on a wall, what a save! Cam Talbot robs Brian Little.
Darnell Nurse blocked that blast and very
Brian ahead. Anton Lander couldn't catch up to it. And Jacob Trouba sends Brian Little away with Wheeler and Ladd. Wheeler tees it up, and that shot is blocked. Wheeler save. Talbot robs Brian Little.
Darnell Nurse blocked that blast and very slow to get up.
Makes it a 2-1 lead for the Jets.
Nurse will need to robs Brian Little.
Darnell Nurse
0%
blocked
vertical
that
scroll.
blast and very slow to get up.
Nurse will need to what a set.
Looks like Mave got winded on that play. Slow to go to the bench, but he gets right back on, comes down. This is the blast. Huge block by Darnell Nurse, and then the chance for Brian Little as Cam Talbot, another big save to keep the Jets off the board, but Blake Wheeler here trying to get his team going.
That block by Darnell Nurse was his third block shot of the game. He paid a bit of a price, did get some attention at the Oilers bench, appears to be okay. Oilers have blocked 11 Jet shots so far in this game.
Darnell Nurse played well for the Oilers since getting recalled 7th overall pick back in 2013.
Toby Enstrom at the line, watched by Teddy Purcell. Purcell from the goal this season. Nurse is in. Wheeler twisting and turning. Looking for a little bit of room. Stopped by Sekera. And Darnell Nurse hustles after the loose puck and plays it ahead. Anton Lander couldn't catch up to it. And that shot is blocked. Wheeler, what a save! Cam Talbot robs
Nurse blocked that blast and very slow to get up.
Nurse will need some attention as the Oilers continue to lead 2-0.
2-1 lead. Well, I mentioned Blake Wheeler, usually the driving force here for the Winnipeg Jets. And exactly how it goes for him, shift by shift. This play just trying to chip it in. Runs into Sekera. Looks like he may have got winded on that play. Slow to go to the bench, but he gets right back on, comes down. This is the blast. Huge block by Darnell Nurse, and then the chance for Brian Little as Cam Talbot, another big save to keep the Jets off the board, but Blake Wheeler here trying to get his team going.
That block by Darnell Nurse was his third block shot of the game, and he paid a bit of a price. Did get some attention at the Oiler bench. Appears to be okay. Oilers have blocked 11 Jets shots so far in this game.
Well, Darnell Nurse has played well for the Oilers since getting recalled. 7th overall pick back in 2013.
Toby Enstrom at the line, watched by Teddy Purcell. Purcell plays this down the ice. Face-off will come back. Toby Enstrom at the line, watched by Teddy Purcell. Purcell plays this down the ice. Face-off will come back into the Edmonton zone.
Well, look at Tyler Myers and look for turning points in the game. You wonder how big that early save by Cam Talbot off that shorthanded 2-on-1 Wheeler to Myers. Talbot came up with a fantastic save early in that first.
Only Talbot's third start in the last 12 games. And if he was dealing with a confidence issue, that save off Tyler Myers certainly helped that out. Draisaitl tied up by Myers, Enstrom, Purcell, Little, all battle for a loose puck. Purcell comes up with it. Justin Schultz in from the line, scores! Games. First. Only Talbot's third start in the last 12 games. And if he was dealing with a confidence issue, that save off Tyler Myers certainly helped that out. Draisaitl tied up by Myers, Enstrom, Purcell. If he was dealing with a confidence issue, that is
to play defensively.
One Oilers, and they repair here at Rexall. Keep it in. Now, season long in this game. Tim Hortons, that on team.
All here than the get down at the ice, but it certainly makes it interesting now going forward. Here is Michael Hutchinson in net for the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, we were in an interesting run for the Oilers. They've lost 3 in a row coming into this game tonight. That was on the road trip. They've won 6 in a row in this building. Here comes Eberle. Eberle circles, being watched by Scheifele. Puck grabbed off, and Enstrom sends it ahead for Stafford. Stafford in against Greiba, back for Scheifele. Scheifele drops it at the line. Sherratt shot steered away. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins waits for it to come off the side boards. Gets it out for Schultz. Schultz for Greiba. And Greiba's shot into the right.
Down.
Gets Nugentson and a heel at home.
Other end.
Shot into the right-handed catching glove. Michael Hutchinson as he makes his first save of the night.
Oh, that's a good one for the Jets. Just a shot from the outside. Let Hutchinson feel the puck as he tries to get into this game. Well, since Andre Pavlik went down, here's a look at what both these goaltenders have been able to do. It's been very good for Hellebuck, and now Michael Hutchinson trying to get on track, and he'll have his chances. The net is his now, and we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow, but there's still a job to do in this hockey game.
Jets are back in action.
He's up with the glove tonight.
Ehlers, Sherratt, for Ehlers. Ehlers wide on Greiba. Ehlers sends it down low. Matt Hendricks is after it. Jams it behind the net, but takes a bumper. Mistra, and off the goalpost. Thorber the rebound, and off the stick of the Keaton. The Keaton and wide.
Well, you just have to wonder, is it their night? What a play. Great job by Burmistrov out of the corner.
Jets back in with Ehlers. Jammed away from him. After it goes Korpikoski. Stewart chopped it away. Fell. And Ehlers on that right side. Back around Darnell Nurse. Ehlers and Nurse shoulder to shoulder in behind the Oiler net. Sekera there to help out. He got bumped by Ehlers. Came to the side of the Oilers net and snapped out to center ice where Tyler Myers jumps on the loose puck. Myers redirect there on for Halishuk from Joel Armia. And in. Talbot for Sekera. His pass stopped by Joel Armia. Gets some help from Kopp. Back to Armia and Anton Lander. Good defensive play to knock it off the stick of Armia. Kopp. Back for Armia and back for Andrew Kopp. Halishuk makes his way to the front of the net. Kopp cuts to the inside, gets it to Halishuk. Tried to get it back to the front of the net. Taylor Hall is there to scoop it up. Hall for Fane and around for Draisaitl. Ahead for Schultz. Back for Taylor Hall. 3-point night for Taylor Hall. And a 3-point night for Teddy Purcell. Play whistle down and a hooking penalty coming up. Back for Taylor Hall. Ahead for Schultz. Back for Taylor Hall. 3-point night for Taylor Hall. And a 3-point night for Teddy Purcell. Play whistle down and a hooking penalty coming up. As Taylor Hall will go to the penalty box. What a chance for Burmistrov. And off that far post. Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's game is Folgers Coffee.
Well, Burmistrov does a good job all around on this play. Hits Hendricks, beats him off the wall in the front end, does everything right except too far. He puts this right back across the crease off the far post and out. But the Jets now, as Taylor Hall gets the stick into the Dustin Byfuglien, he'll take 2 for hooking, and the Winnipeg Jets power play will have an opportunity here to get them on the board and cut into this 3-0 lead the Oilers have. Hall with 3 assists in this hockey game. There's a look at Burmistrov for probably a little trying to understand what happened on that play. Did everything right except find the back of the net.
Well, then Thorburn had a whack at the rebound, and it went off the stick of Nikita Nikitin and wide. There's the Jets power play with Matthew Perreault, Drew Stafford, Nikolai Ehlers, Scheifele, and Byfuglien. Snapped off the boards by Darnell Nurse. So a bit of a different power play alignment for the Jets, with Byfuglien back at the blue line. With this crew, usually out there with the little lad Wheeler setup. Played around the boards, Ehlers. Sent around to the blue line, Scheifele. Down for Perreault. And taken in behind the net by Darnell Nurse. And lots of time for Nurse to send this one down on Michael Hutchinson. And Hutchinson had to be careful with that one. Byfuglien for Stafford. Sends it deep, and Schultz and Scheifele going after it. Battle in the corner. Schultz clears this, and it gets off the stick of Nikolai Ehlers and out at center. 1 minute now left in the power play. Ehlers will lead for Byfuglien. Byfuglien drops it for Wheeler, on for Perreault. Stick handles his way to the line. Ran into a whole group of players, including Dustin Byfuglien, and offside called.
Well, see a little frustration showing here on the Winnipeg Jets on this power play. Having trouble just gaining entry into the zone. Perreault runs into Byfuglien. That creates the offside. They have switched the defense partners around for the power play as Myers and Trouba come out with Little Lad and Wheeler here on this other unit.
Greiba.
We have switched the defense partners around for the power play as Myers and Trouba come out with Little Lad and Wheeler here on this other unit.
Greiba off the boards and down the ice. And Hutchinson leaves for Myers. Wheeler with some speed. Wheeler takes it to the net. Save on the short side by Cam Talbot. Little back for Myers. Back to Brian Little. Goal line to Wheeler. Back for Little. Andrew Ladd off that backside, Little to the short side, save made by Talbot. And off a stick and out at center. Arena, no room for him, and right back up. Myers sends it ahead for Ladd into Wheeler. Bouncing puck cleared away. Myers back to Wheeler, tees it up, and ripped that one wide. Rebound, score! Brian Little off. Save made by Talbot. And off a stick and out at center. Made by Talbot. Andrew
Trouble this game.
play roll. Bufflin drops it for Wheeler on for Perreault. Stick handles his way to the line. Ran into a whole group of players, including Dustin Bufflin, and offside called.
Well, see a little frustration showing here on the Winnipeg Jets on this power play. Having trouble just gaining entry into the zone. Perreault runs into Bufflin. That creates the offside. They have switched the defense partners around for the power play as Myers and Trouble come out Little, Ladd, and Wheeler here on this other unit.
Greiba off the boards and down the ice. And Hutchinson leaves for Myers. Wheeler with some speed. Wheeler takes it to the net. And knocked back.
By Letestu. Quick hand. Look at this. Aggressive and saying that was a good goal. Look low enough. As he had a good angle right beside the net and stick. Good. As he had a good angle right beside the net and stick. Looked low enough from Brian Little, and we'll go upstairs and take a review of this. Confident as this team. Brian Little.
Yep.
Dennis takes over the team.
Made the correction. So it is Wheeler and Myers with the assist. And 3-1 now. Here comes Ehlers. Drops it back for Burmistrov. Turns, being watched there by Schultz. Mark Faze. Ehlers trying to work it away from him. Jets to the attack for Burmistrov. Keeping an eye on the proceedings is Mark Letestu. But Burmistrov, good job along the boards. Gets it away from Fain, still has it. Burmistrov to the net, redirect there by Thorburn, and Calvert got a piece of it. Calvert got just enough of that to steer it wide. Back for Thorburn, out for Burmistrov. Burmistrov, Ehlers is in front. Back to the left point, Stewart. Cross ice, Sherratt. And Burmistrov to the bench. He may have taken a bit of a slash. Stafford for Perreault. Back for Bufflin. Bufflin to the net. That changed directions and went wide. Back for Scheifele. Stafford. Back for Bufflin. At the line, Sherratt had to get away from him, and Matt Hendricks trying to clear. Bufflin kicks it back to the slot, and Schultz is there to clear it. Oh, that just stayed in. But right back into the Oilers' zone.
Oh, this Oiler line absolutely exhausted.
In front. Oh, what a save! Cam Talbot absolutely robs Drew Stafford.
You usually see one or two highlight saves in a game, but this is up to 4 or 5 now for Cam Talbot. And this might be better than the Myers one off a terrific feed from Matthew Perreault. As he goes behind the back to Stafford out front, and Cam Talbot tracks that very well, stretches out, and a big glove save. The Edmonton Oilers needed a timeout, and they will call one here off that icing.
Cam Talbot came over from the Rangers, played so well last year for the Rangers when Henrik Lundqvist got hurt.
21 wins last year for Cam Talbot. And yeah, came here, the trade was made for Talbot to come in and be the #1 goalie. The season didn't start well for him. Anders Nilsson got in net, was hot. And then Cam Talbot now, like getting back in the net, finding his confidence. And he has to be a confident goaltender now. Another great save off a quality chance for Drew Stafford. Just a great feed there by Matthew Perreault. And the Edmonton Oilers a much-needed break.
4 goals in the last 7 games for Drew Stafford. Tried to add to that total, but Cam Talbot says, He has stopped 18 of 19, Talbot has. Well, the Jets have had their chances again. Another shot, and that was stopped by Talbot. Wheeler trying to pull away from Anton Lander. Leaves it for Byfuglien. Byfuglien waits for traffic. A redirect that just went wide. Andrew Ladd on it in the corner. Ladd away from Schultz as the Oilers on their heels a little bit. To the front of the net from Wheeler, and it works its way up the boards, and Andrew Ladd has to hustle back. The long pass to Wheeler. In with Byfuglien. Wheeler off the glove of Talbot as he tried to go short side.
Great feed from Andrew Ladd to create that quick transition.
Taken by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Sends it back. Darnell Nurse tried to get it to the net. Could not. Nikolai Ehlers has Thorburn with him. Ehlers in on goal, and Talbot to save the rebound. And it got batted away. This has become the Cam Talbot show. Myers in for Enstrom. And right back into the Edmonton zone. Ehlers snapshot, and the only one to beat him was that one by Brian Little.
Well, Cam Talbot right now responsible for his team's 3-1 lead as he has been brilliant in this game. The Jets have had quality of grade A scoring opportunities. Great transition. Ladd to Wheeler. Wheeler trying to find some room. It goes off Talbot, off the side of the net. And then Nikolai Ehlers, another 2-on-1 for the Jets coming down. Gets the shot, saved by Talbot. Tries to get to the rebound, but Talbot, sometimes the goalies get in the zone, and that is where Talbot seems to be right now.
46 shot attempts by the Winnipeg Jets in this game. Half have got to the Oiler net, and 22 of 23 have been stopped by Cam Talbot. 6'3" Talbot using that size. Taylor shot attempts by the Winnipeg Jets in this game. Half have got to the Oiler net, and 22 of 23 have been stopped by Cam Talbot. 6'3" Talbot using that size. Taylor Hall sending it cross ice, looking for Teddy Purcell. Falling in the corner was Myers. Loose puck grabbed off by Perreault. Perreault carries in to the front of the net. Goes Stafford. Shifley got taken down as he was driving the net. And there is another major Cullen. Keep kicked up it back for Dustin Byfuglien. After him is Brian Little. And the Oilers will control with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Hopkins going to the outside, forced outside by Jacob Trouba. Byfuglien tried to knock it away from Nugent-Hopkins, could not. And Eberle is on the loose puck. Jordan Eberle finds a little bit of room, and off the post. Glove side on Michael Hutchinson. Through center to Wheeler. And play whistle down. Glove side on Michael Hutchinson. Through center to Wheeler. And play whistle down.
I think it's a too many men call.
Too many men on the ice.
The Oilers had 5 guys as Blake Wheeler was trying to come up the ice, but this is right after the Oilers almost making a 4-1 game as Byfuglien and Wheeler on the switch run in each other. That gives Eberle a little room. He comes in, shot. A little bit of a knuckle puck as it hits the post and out. And right after that, as Wheeler comes up the ice, the Edmonton Oilers get caught with 5 guys on the ice. 2 guys jumped on as 1 guy came off.
But Wheeler had the puck.
That's too many men. Trying to blow it down.
So they don't wait for the Oilers to touch the puck.
Allows them to get back. They'll be back to 4 men on the ice to correct things.
So it'll be a 4-on-3. for the Winnipeg Jets. A 3-1 game. And a game that Winnipeg Jets have had so many glorious chances.
They have had quality scoring chances, right? It's been Cam Talbot who's come up with some fantastic saves in this hockey game.
Third power play of the game for the Jets. Snapped around and down the ice by Darnell Nurse. Michael Hutchinson will leave it there. Byfuglien for Little. Back for Byfuglien. Down for Matthew Perreault. Perreault back for Byfuglien. As he and Perreault play give and go. Little. Byfuglien down for Perreault. Off the near side is Wheeler. Perreault doesn't have a lane to get it to Wheeler. Now Wheeler goes cross ice and it just got tipped away from Matthew Perreault by Darnell Nurse. Little stays on it. Back for Byfuglien across for Perreault. Perreault to Little, and a good save by Talbot as he got that right arm up. Wheeler on the loose puck, couldn't get to it. Brian Little hustling after it. Gets it for Byfuglien. Walking in. Save made by Talbot. Off of Byfuglien, and he hangs on.
Well, good hustle by Brian Little as this puck's rimmed around, coming to the blue line. Hustles, gets it to Byfuglien, and Big 33 has that middle lane, charges to the net. The Jets trying to work this around the perimeter. No one in front of the net. And eventually Brian Little gets it to Byfuglien, takes the ice. Quick shot.
And the Jets will control off the draw with Byfuglien. For Brian Little. Down for Wheeler. Back for Byfuglien. 15 seconds in the initial calls. And another save by Cam Talbot. And cleared to the line, but not out. Byfuglien plays it back to Wheeler. Back to Byfuglien. Talbot makes the save on the short side. Byfuglien for Little. Little trying to jam it loose. Now we're to 5-on-4. Byfuglien. Cross ice. Perreault doesn't shoot it. Now he does, and Sekera blocked it. So now you wonder if Cam Talbot isn't starting to maybe get into the heads of the Winnipeg Jets. Controlled by Stafford. Cross ice. Fake. Ehlers lets it go. Talbot the save and smothers it.
Well, good job by
This period can't end. 5 shots on that power play for the Winnipeg Jets. Draisaitl stopped at the line. Draisaitl with 8 assists now in his last 6 games. 17-6 the shots here in period number 2 favoring the Winnipeg Jets. Taylor Hall chases this into the Jet zone. Myers gets there first. Into the final minute of the period. Vermeestrop plays it through for Trouba. Has Stafford with him. Trouba now hits to the front of the net. And he got bucked off the puck. Eddie Purcell shovels it to the line. It doesn't get out. Purcell gets it again. Purcell with Ladd in pursuit. Purcell trying to cut through. Puck at the side of the net. Taylor Hall trying to wrap around. And Michael Hutchinson got the left leg down. Byfuglien standing on the puck. Now it came back to the front. And Taylor Hall tried to stuff it. So a late period push here by the Oilers. But Andrew Ladd on the loose puck gets it to center. Sekera goes cross ice to Nikita Nikitin and back for Sekera. He'll send this in. Byfuglien waits for it. And the period comes to an end.
Very happy about the one that wasn't called.
Everything they needed to do offensively in this period, but Cam Talbot's been the difference. The Winnipeg frustration can't come in their game. Continue to push here with 20 minutes left and down 2.
So, some physicality. And Justin Schultz with his first. Vermeestrop with a great chance. Little gets the Jets on the board. The shots 18-6 Winnipeg, but Edmonton with the 3-1 lead. 2-1 lead. Got the Edmonton Oilers. Justin Schultz with his first of the year. From Purcell and Hall. Little at 7:44, and then Brian Little, not a power play goal by Brian Little, by the way. 1 second after Taylor Hall stepped out of the penalty box is when Brian Little batted that puck into the net. But it does get the Jets on the board, and there's your shots in that second period, very much favoring the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, and 6 of them coming off the stick of Brian Little leads the Winnipeg Jets. Buffalo and Ehlers each have 5 shots. And they'll look to put more shots up in this third period, down 2, and see if they can solve another way to get one past Cam Talbot.
He has been terrific. Talbot has. So it'll be Wheeler's
third period, down 2, and see if they can solve another way to get one past Cam Talbot.
For the first time in Rogers Place.
He has been terrific.
Talbot has early in the season this time round. Referees tonight are Brian Buckner and Kyle Raymond, Darren Gibbs, and Mark Wheeler are the linesmen. And we're ready.
That was his 6th shot, goes off a stick.
90 volume
And out of play.
0%
Well, we talked
vertically
about
scroll.
Taylor Hall and Leon Draisaitl before the game. Their numbers in the previous 11 home games. Well, now here's their last 12 home games. This one not done yet. They have combined for 45 points in 12. Their last 12 home games. Just outstanding numbers for both those players.
8
The previous 11 home games. Well, now here's their last 12 home games. This one not done yet. They have combined for 45 points in 12. Their last 12 home games. Just outstanding numbers for both those players.
8 assists in 6 games now for Leon Draisaitl. Icing called against Edmonton.
Well, and he talked about the youth on this team. Draisaitl along with Hall. You got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the defense. Darnell Mercer's had a strong game. And, of course, there's someone who's injured. And we haven't talked about Connor McDavid, who they're expecting to be back on the ice here in mid-January.
He is in the building tonight, watching the Oilers in action. Is back skating on his own. Buckland blast from the line, steered away by Talbot. After it, Trouba. Little in front of it, and Talbot may have got a glove on that. Back for Wheeler. Leaves for Buckland. Buckland circles to get away from Taylor Hall. Buckland pushes the helmet up. Drops it back for Trouba, and the low shot just misses. Wheeler as the Jets back to the attack. Buckland quick shot, that got blocked. Trouba holds it in. Down for Brian Little. Little into the slot for Buckland, and the shot stopped in front. Jets starting a change, and now
Well, it just meant in the races for Edmonton.
for the Winnipeg Jets. Benoit Pouliot behind the net. Jammed up the wall, and after it now, Vermeestrop. Kept in, nope, offside. Paul Schultz for Draisaitl. In for Taylor Hall. Trouba's in on him. Draisaitl trying to center, jammed away by Halishuk. Taken by Stafford. Ahead for Jacob Trouba. And he'll send this in. Trouba does have a shorthanded career goal against Edmonton. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins leaves it at the line. Justin Schultz for Taylor Hall. Away from him, and Buckland plays it on for Stafford. Through for Vermeestrop. What a chance Vermeestrop had to score in the second period. Put it off a post. Draisaitl. Thorburn got his skate in the way of that pass. Buckland will slow it down. Benoit Pouliot in after Buckland, and Buckland will hammer this all the way down the ice. Sekera. 2 goals in his last 4 games. He had the Oilers' lone goal in the 5-1 loss to Colorado. Sekera's shot, that got blocked by Halishuk, and Halishuk will get it out to center. Pouliot plays it back into his own zone. With the Jets trailing in this game, Paul Maurice hasn't been able to roll 4 lines probably as much as he would like to, with the Jets back in action again tomorrow night. Darnell Nurse Sends it behind the Jets net. Power play is over. No shots on that power play for Edmonton. Brian Little carries in, cuts to the middle. Little the shot. That never got to the net. Another block by the Oilers. Darnell Nurse gets to center and sends it in. And Michael Hutchinson, who replaced Connor Hellebuck after the Oilers' third goal, plays it to the corner for Ladd, and Ladd off for Tyler Myers. Myers through for Scheifele. Scheifele after with Mark Fane. Fane for Greiba. Through for Anton Lander. Stopped at the line by Enstrom. And on it is Myers. His pass intended for Stafford too far. This gets broken up. Stafford carries back in. Stafford trying to cut around Justin Schultz. Centers. And it got knocked away from Matthew Perreault. Penalty coming to the Oilers. To the net. And the Jets get their fourth power play of the game. 0 for 3. The Brian Little goal, for all intents and purposes, was a power play marker as Taylor Hall had just stepped out of the penalty box. Here comes Wheeler. Cut to the middle, drops it back for Byfuglien. Byfuglien cross ice Myers. On for Ladd, back for Myers. Byfuglien. Wheeler. Little goes to the front of the net. The pass to Myers. Directed in front by Little, and he stopped it on an attempted redirect. Great play by Myers. Wheeler's pass blocked. Wheeler quickly for Byfuglien. Back for Blake Wheeler. Greiba trying to clear, can't. Byfuglien to Myers. Myers cross ice. Wheeler goes to the forehand. Back for Myers. Walks it in. And now redirect by Little, and a good save by Talbot. Myers cross ice. Wheeler goes to the forehand. Back for Myers. Walks it in. And now redirect by Little, and a good save by Talbot.
10 minutes. Magna. Tina.
Another turnover. Tyler Pitlick takes advantage.
And this is all over here for the Jets. They switch things up. Two right-handed D-man. Instead of throwing, they go to a wide.
0% vertically scroll.
Passing set up, and they move the puck extremely well through the seams. And twice they tried this play. Myers pass here for the Jets. The quick release gets under the arm of Elliott.
0% vertically scroll.
Here for the Jets. They switch things up. Two right-handed D-man. Instead of throwing, they go to a wide. The elbow. Passing set up, and they move the puck extremely well through the seams. And 20 men, instead of throwing, they go to a wide. Passing set up, and they move the puck extremely well through the seams. And twice they tried this play, and Myers a little shot pass to Brian Little. This one he redirects on him. Darnell Nurse got the stick a little high on Blake Wheeler as he comes in for the foul afterwards. Seems to be all right, but great puck movement there as the Jets switch up the power play a little bit.
104 back to the penalty and Tom Lander. First meeting of the season between these two teams. Stafford back for Jacob Trouba. Back for Stafford. Perreault drops it for Scheifele. For Perreault. He'll look and find Ehlers up top. Ehlers had it get away from him, stays on it, and it ends up on the stick of Scheifele. For Perreault. Sekera tried to break it up, could not, and Ehlers is on it in the corner. Back for Trouba. Cross ice, Scheifele the shot, good right arm save by Cam Talbot. Sekera, good play off the backboards, and the Oilers, with Korpikoski, will clear it down the ice. Perreault for Ehlers, protects the puck, back to Perreault, and Perreault got knocked down as Greiba stepped into him, and Perreault seems a little shaken up as he makes his way back to the Jets bench.
Well, he's kind of turning around and ran into Greiba, who was much bigger, and then went down awkwardly.
2 shots on that power play for the Winnipeg Jets. Little. Trouba. And he'll play back for Toby Enstrom. Andrew Ladd finds a little bit of room, shovels it in. Talbot will leave it for Greiba. Oilers in front, 3-1. A couple of goals early in the first period by Teddy Purcell. We're midway through that first period. Ladd back at the line. Poke check following up as Enstrom. Got it to the side of the net, batted away by Talbot. And then grabbed off by Draisaitl. And Ehlers will get on the loose puck back at his own end. Finds some room through center and charges his way into the Edmonton zone. Tried to spin it out front, and that pass got blocked. Good defensive play there by Mark Fane. Banked out at center, and Everly will send it in. Buckland for Myers. Ehlers leaves for Burmistrov. Burmistrov heading to the middle. Thorburn knocked his man down. That was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Buckland almost stole it on the far side. Ehlers back through for Burmistrov. Chopped there by Everly. Keeps on going. Pulls it to the middle. Drops it off for Trouba. Trouba takes it wide. Goes to the far side. Missed the net. Buckland back for Burmistrov. Back for Stafford. Perreault is in front. Stafford being watched by Pouliot. In front to Perreault. And that shot got blocked. Stafford on it again. Burmistrov off the sideboards, trying to twist his way away from Justin Schultz. Back for Perreault. Perreault, Trouba creeping in, and Talbot got over and made the save off of Trouba. Bounced out at center. Pouliot through for Everly. Everly not much on the shot as Buckland knocked him down.
I'll tell you, Alexander Burmistrov has had an extremely good game here. One of his better games he's played. Looking for that reward. He had such a good chance earlier in the game that went off the post.
Greiba plays it around for Darnell Nurse. Intercepted and a shot by Halishuk. And that got stopped by Cam Talbot. Halishuk back behind the net. Halishuk works it back for Ben Sherratt. Sherratt to the front of the net. Through traffic, and that just missed. Jumping on the loose puck is Kopp. He puts it to the front of the net and got knocked away from Armia. Stewart breaks this up and jams it back into the Edmonton zone. 11 minutes left to go in regulation. And the Jets doubling up the Oilers on the shots on goal clock. And the Jets doubling up the Oilers on the shots on goal clock at 36-18.
The Oilers yet to have a shot in this third period.
Stewart for Andrew Ladd. Stick breaks. Nikitin through for Taylor Hall. Hall winds his way in, drops it back. Save made by Hutchinson. First shot of the period by the Oilers. Hall curls back at center. Purcell. Draisaitl. Back for Purcell. Got tipped away. Plays it back to the line. Shot by Fane. Glove save Hutchinson. And he will hang on. So the Jets with plenty of opportunities. Bench for Matthew Perreault. Watch future Jets on TSN telecast. You can win a trip for two to a Dreams Resort and Spa.
0%
at
vertically
redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner.
Well, Winnipeg has done a good job in this third period, picking up where they left off in the second, and been able to put shots towards the net. A lot of offensive zone time. The Oilers have been hemmed in their own end for the majority of that second period, and half of this third period. Took them to almost the halfway mark of the third to get a shot on Michael Hutchinson. And I imagine Paul Maurice, this is tough when you're chasing like this. You have to shorten your bench, but you know you got another game coming up tomorrow night.
And got a good shift from the Halishuk Armia Kopp line. Halishuk had a scoring chance. They kept the puck in the Oilers zone.
And I imagine Paul Maurice, this is tough when you're chasing like this. You have to shorten your bench, but you know you got another game coming up tomorrow night.
And got a good shift from the Hamilchuk-Armia top line. Hamilchuk had a scoring chance. They kept the puck in the Oilers' zone. Tied up in the corner as the Oilers try and get some offensive zone time. Vermistrov tied up by Korpikoski. Thorburn deflects it out at center and snapped back in by Mark Fane. Dennis Bayak, Shane 90, our TSN crew here in Edmonton. Wishing you the best of the holidays. Nikolai Ehlers with some speed. Ehlers trying to take it to the backhand. Centers in front of the net. And old Benoit Pouliot almost tucked that into his own goal. But did have enough control of it to drag it around the post. Boy, that icing.
That was dangerously close as Ehlers, another burst of speed. Ehlers, who seems to have another gear in his game tonight, and he just comes down that little move, drag between the legs, throws it on front, and Pouliot intercepts. Chris Thorburn was coming in late, but Pouliot some good hands there to make sure, and did not move, drags to have another gear in his game tonight, and he just comes down that little move, drag between the legs, throws it on front, and Pouliot intercepts. Chris Thorburn was coming in late, but Pouliot some good hands there to make sure.
Fine staff away into the Jet. Shots on goal in this.
And Pouliot intercepts. Chris Thorburn was coming in late, but
Mark Fane with some speed. Ehlers trying to take it to the backhand to the holidays. Nikolai Ehlers with some speed. Ehlers trying to take it to the backhand. Centers in front of the net. And old Benoit
Image magnet.
his second goal of the night. It's 3-2 Oilers.
tucked that into his own.
Ehlers, who seems that was dangerously close. Ehlers, another burst of speed. Ehlers, who seems to have another gear in his game tonight. He just comes down that little move, drag between the legs, throws it on front, and Pouliot intercepts. Chris Thorburn was coming in late, but Pouliot some good hands there to make sure. Did not miss by Muck late, but throws out his game tonight, and he just comes down that little move, drag between the legs, throws it on front, and Pouliot intercepts. Chris Thorburn was coming in late, but Pouliot some good hands there to make sure. Did not miss, drag between the legs, throws it on front, and Pouliot intercepts. Chris Thorburn was coming in late, but Pouliot some good hands there to make sure. Did not miss by much.
And he's in this opening night.
Almost found the corner.
Dustin
Marquis pulling out after him. 5 shots on goal in this game on 16 shifts for Nikolai Ehlers. Sent in the Buffalo, goes in after it. Perreault on the loose puck. Justin Schultz takes it for the Oilers. His pass partially stopped by Perreault. And Eberle will get it at center for Pouliot. He'll send it the rest of the way into the Jet zone and go in after it. Under 9 now in regulation. And the Oilers hanging on to a 3-1 lead. Eberle knocked down in the corner. Good play there by Scheifele. On for Stafford and back for Scheifele. Pulls up, finds Stafford. Stafford trying to work it in. Does! Save, rebound! Scheifele stopped by Talbot. Pass picked off by Tyler Myers. Wow.
Well, another good chance for the Winnipeg Jets. They just got to stick with it.
Here comes Wheeler. Wheeler to the far side, and Talbot got the arm out on that. Darnell Nurse for Taylor Hall. Myers steps up and breaks it up. Bounces in on Hutchinson, and he'll leave it for Enstrom. For Brian Little. Little sends it in, and the Jets pour in after it. Talbot plays it away from Thorburn. Ehlers is on it, though. The shot, that missed off the backboard. Greiba turned it over. Ehlers trying to work it out front. Ehlers spins it back to the corner, but everybody was headed to the front of the net. Now it's kept in by Stewart, and this rattles off the leg of Letestu and out of play. Mark Stewart in game 600 of his NHL career, looking up at the scoreboard.
Well, this time it's Mark Scheifele that can't beat Cam Talbot as he gets a great opportunity to start with a nice rush by Stafford. Just gets the shot, rebound comes up, Ladd follows it up, finds Scheifele the quick shot, but Talbot has just been sure of every movement he's made and comes up with the save off Mark Scheifele. The Winnipeg Jets still pouring everything they can on Cam Talbot, but the clock working against them is only 7.5 minutes left. Still time.
Corbin out, Ehlers, Burmistrov, Bufflin and Trouba inside the line as Burmistrov gets set to take on the faceoff. Faceoff department has been very kind to the Oilers.
Edmonton. 0%. YouTube video player used cross keyboard shortcut key button. 0% vertically
gets set
scroll.
to take on the faceoff. Faceoff department has been very kind to the Oilers, and they win on the Burmistrov, Bufflin and Trouba inside the line as Burmistrov gets set to take on the faceoff. Faceoff department has been very kind to the Oilers, and they win another one. Shots 10-2 this period favoring the Winnipeg Jets. And 39-20 over the course of the game. Sent in, Ehlers chopped it around. Matt Hendricks to the front of the net. That got deflected away. And Justin Schultz, who scored his first of the year earlier in this game, but he turns it over. Here comes Burmistrov, and the shot off the stick of Justin Schultz and out of play.
Well, good read by Burmistrov. Just heads up, taking away that neutral zone. Stick in that pass lane. Kind of lets that play be there, cuts it off, turns it around, and as he comes in, Schultz able to recover as he gets the stick in the shot lane, deflects it up and out of play.
Dustin Bufflin leading the way for the Winnipeg Jets with 8 shots on goal. Brian Little has 7. Wheeler and Ehlers have 5, and Scheifele has 4. Enstrom in from the line with Eberle. They tie each other up. Perreault is on the puck. Tried to jam it through for Stafford. Kept in by Perreault. Perreault puts on the brakes. Sends it around for Tyler Myers. Myers for Stafford. He'll let it go to Perreault. Mark Bain trying to chase it down. Now Myers. And Benoit Pouliot will get it out of the Edmonton zone. Back in for the Jets. Scheifele trying to catch up to it. Perreault is on it. Perreault watched by Draisaitl. Talbot steers it away. Myers back down into the corner for Perreault. Penalty coming to Edmonton. And now is there going to be 1 or 2 as Perreault got dumped by Draisaitl.
I think it's just going to be the one to Purcell. Hooks up Myers at the point. Well, the Oilers have been under siege here in this third period, and it is Purcell who's just sticking to the hands of Tyler Myers. Tries to let go of his stick to get rid of the call, but another important power play. This is where the Jets' power play needs to get going in situations like this.
Well, Todd McClellan and the Edmonton coaching staff look on knowing that they are fortunate to be up by 2 in this game. Cam Talbot has been absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
Wheeler waits for Ladd to get onside. And now jammed out by Greiba. Ends up going out of play.
Well, they switched the units around a little bit, throwing Myers and Bufflin on the point and keeping the line Little, Ladd, Wheeler together. On this unit, worked well, some good puck movement on the last power play. The other one has Perreault with Stafford and Scheifele, their normal line with Ehlers and Trouba on the point.
Season high 8 shots in this game for Dustin Bufflin. His career high is 12. Oilers get the puck down the ice. fifth power play of the game for the Jets. 0 for 4 with 11 power play shots. Blake Wheeler for Brian Little, who has the Jets' only goal. For Myers, for Ladd, and back for Myers, and over to Byfuglien. Back for Myers. Andrew Ladd takes that pass. Ladd to the far side, and that didn't miss by much. And Byfuglien and Myers couldn't hold that in. And the Jets had to clear the zone. Boy, almost a break down that far side, but Greiba managed to get a stick on it and deflect it away.
Well, Ladd did have some room to that blocker's side, but it's one of those plays you got to make or else comes around and goes out of the zone.
Trouba snaps it around for Scheifele. Back for Byfuglien. Tees it up. And glove save by Talbot. There was no traffic in front. Perreault was trying to get to the front of the net.
Well, another shot from Byfuglien. That's his 9th, and that's the 40th on Cam Talbot in this hockey game. Oh, and here's the shot by Andrew Ladd, where good screen in front by Wheeler. He had room, and it did not miss by much. The last shot by Byfuglien, and Talbot able to see that all the way from the point.
36 seconds left in the power play. Jets win the draw. Stafford for Scheifele. Back for Jacob Trouba. Cross for Nikolai Ehlers. To the goal line. Perreault. Ehlers, one-timer. Trouba, loose puck in front and batted away. And Talbot felt that one. So there was a rebound there, but the Oilers cleared it. Perreault for Trouba. He'll carry it in. Forced wide by Darnell Nurse. Power play is over. 2 shots on that power play for the Jets. Cross-ice pass just beyond the reach of Scheifele. Down to Stafford. And it was in a little tight on him. Kept in at the line. No. Enstrom had to get away from him. And back in for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. To the front of the net. Hutchinson has it in his glove. And he will hang on to it. 3:42 left to go. Cam Talbot has stopped 40 of 41. Jets on TSN continues tomorrow night when the Jets take on the Flames in Calgary. Catch it at 7:30 Central on TSN 3 in the Jets region.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets fans hoping to cheer one more time in this game, at least, well, 2 more. The Jets looking to tie this if they can, but they have to beat Cam Talbot, who has been busy and has been very good.
Second time this season, Talbot is facing 40-plus shots. When the Oilers started that last road trip, he stopped 47 of 49 in an overtime win in Boston. Versal, 2 goals in the game and an assist. Waits for it on the far side. Draisaitl, 2 assists in the game. Taylor Hall, a 3-point night, but the Jets come up with it. Armia carries in. Joel Armia out there now with Thorburn and Burmistrov. Burmistrov tried to put on the brakes and tight turn, and Nikita Nikitin poked it away from him, and Nikita Nikitin comes up limping and makes his way to the Oiler bench. Eberle breaks it up. Plays it back where Tyler Myers takes it. Eberle continues to chase on Myers. Byfuglien tried to send it up the boards. Got a bit of a break when Pouliot lost his stick. And carried in by Wheeler. To the bench goes Michael Hutchinson. Oilers control 6 attackers at the empty net and wide. And this will be an icing call. Bench rolling for Wheeler. Darnell Nurse after him. Ladd to the corner with Sekera. Perreault there as well. Wheeler plays it around. Myers has to hustle. On his backhand, though. Back down low for Wheeler. Sekera picks up the chase on Wheeler. In for Little. Stuffs it on for Ladd. Sent it to Perreault. And Talbot got a glove on that. Little on the loose puck. Back for Perreault. Perreault back for Little and on for Myers. Through traffic off a stick. facing 40 or more shots. He's 3-0 in his career. Burmistrov holds in and at the line. 79 shot attempts in this game by the Winnipeg Jets. Bufflin makes it 80 and another save by Talbot. Ehlers for Burmistrov. Burmistrov being watched, and Hendricks knocked it to Greiba, who sends it down the ice, and this will be another icing call. Perreault, nice pass down for Ladd. Back for Perreault. Myers up top, doesn't shoot it. Perreault for Ladd, in for Little. Sharp angle, or rather Wheeler, chopped away, and Little jumps on it. Brian Little, watched by Greiba. For Wheeler, drives it to the front of the net. Ladd trying to get it to settle down. Bufflin back for Ladd. Myers, Little, crossed to Ladd, and it got tipped away. Ladd jumps on the loose puck. Jets down by 2 into the final minute. Perreault trying to bring it to the net, does, and that went wide short side. I can't. Bufflin holds this in at the line.
1 hour 30.
Gets some help from Burmistrov. Back for Trouba, and another save
1 hour
by
47.
Cam Talbot.
And he has been
Second, and title rubbed out.
0 for
Trouba
goals.
back for Mark Scheifele into the final 25 seconds of regulation. Ehlers has to get it to the net. Does, and another save by Talbot. This skipped away from Bufflin. And Cam Talbot, 45 shots. He has stopped 44.
0%
And the Edmonton
vertically split.
Oilers will run their home winning streak to 7. And after the Jets won all 3 games in the season series last year, the Oilers win the first game between the two teams this year. As things get a little heated at the end of the game, there was going to be a call there to Scheifele.
Just one final notice that the Bucks
Tim and John Nurse, they got tangled up, a couple extra shots after that final horn, but the Oilers feeling the magic at home here, another win. And Cam Talbot, boy, was he hot tonight and helped give his team that victory. Definitely will deserve a tap on the head here from his teammates.
34-9. The shots in favor of the Jets.